He's become very precious to us, and we had good time today talking, and he will always be precious. We have told him, he knows, I'll tell him what I told you, all right?
It's fine.
I said that anytime he's down or depressed, because he's on his own, all he's got to do is lift the phone and say he's on his way from New York, and he'll be picked up at Aldergrove. And he can stay with us for a few days, and we'll build him up and send him back. But in between, I've told him that every 2 years I'll buy him a truck. Now, you couldn't be bad to that, could you?
What a deal.
Every 2 years I'll buy him a truck, and that'll keep him quiet and keep him off my back. So, but in between, I've told him that if he's ever down in the name of the Lord, or you'll buy him a truck. I couldn't buy anybody anything. And by the way, you bought him a truck last night.
That's right.
How lovely. So as the Irishman says, he was like two men and a wee lad last night. And we thank God for it. So the Lord bless him. So we'll love you, Bill. Feel at liberty going up there. Okay, see you later.
See you later.
I don't know where we're going for supper.
That's okay. Jimmy, Eddie Spence's? No.
No, he closes early.
He closes early. Okay. That's fine.
No, we'll go up to Ruby Tuesdays. All right, then, Ruby Tuesdays later on.
That's fine. Thank you. I have just had the best time the last couple of days. This doesn't mean anything to you, but I'm going to say it anyway because it means something to me. I talked a little bit yesterday. Can you guys see me up there, sort of? Peek through the flowers? Hey, how's it going? How are you? Okay, all right. You're not missing anything. Just listen. I'm not much to look at, so it's easier to just hear. Not much to hear either. But there are very few places in the world that I feel like I can go and feel comfortable. For those of you that have not traveled much, I know that may not mean much to you, probably doesn't make sense. But when you travel as much as I do and you're in all of these parts of the world and you walk into a church like this, cold. I mean, cold. Nobody knows you and they look at you, and especially when you look like this. Thank you. And yeah, thanks. And you look like this, and people look and they go, what in the world is this guy going to say? And it's very difficult, especially because of the kind of life I live. Those of you that were with me yesterday, you know that I do not live like the normal American, especially like a normal American preacher. I have chosen to live a very different kind of a lifestyle. And so I've been looked at as a bit of a nut, a bit of a weirdo. And when an American calls you weird, I mean, that's really weird. You know, I mean, that's really like the pot calling the kettle black there. You know what I'm saying? So when you end up traveling, being around, and trying to communicate something that cannot be communicated, it puts you on, I don't want to say the defensive because I'm not exactly sure that, are you going to sit there the whole time? It's okay. I'm from New York. I just don't like people behind me. It gets me nervous. It's a New York thing. It's okay. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. Just don't make any quick moves, okay? And I want to make sure we're all okay here. Okay. No problem. It's all right. Oliver, is it Oliver? Yeah, okay, there, you sit here, Oliver. Okay, thank you very much. That'll make me feel much more comfortable. I get a little, yes, sir. Something comes out of this? That's what happens if I go overtime, right? But I wanted to just take this time because I know this will be the last time that I see some of you, because tomorrow night is geared for the leadership, and I'll be teaching tomorrow night some of what I call the principles of life and leadership that I teach on television and in pastor schools when I'm in that type of a venue. And so I know tonight's kind of my last shot at most of you. So I want to say thank you, not just to Pastor, but to all of you that have made that truck a possibility in Manila. That will actually be our first sidewalk Sunday school truck. And each one of these trucks is going to be working with 1,000 kids every week. They'll be bringing the Sunday school out there into the squatter camps and into that sort of stuff. And I'm going to take a picture of it. We're going to put you guys' name, the name of the church, on the back of the truck. I'm going to take a picture of it with the kids and blow it up, and I'll have it here. So you will be able to see what it is that you've been a part of. And every time that truck goes out, you guys will be part of it. And that's important that you know that. So I say thank you to all of you, and thank you for just making me feel comfortable. I could live here. I could really live here. I like this place. That scares me. It really scares me. It ought to scare you. My personality and my temperament fits this place very well. I like people that are just honest, that are upfront, and just call it. And that's why I have such an appreciation for this man. But I have a greater appreciation because for all these 40-some-odd years, he stayed. You don't see that in the United States. People there go, you know, churches are stepping stones over there. And they come and go and float and, oh, well, God's calling me somewhere else. God had nothing to do with it. It had to do about dollars. And that sounds unkind, but it is what it is. And that's why I can live here. But thank you. And I hope I get to see you again. I believe I will, God willing. And the shipment came in. We actually got calendars. The fellows will have the calendars as you go out. So for those of you that did not get a calendar yesterday, at least the mail here is just like it is in the United States. And so sometimes it shows up and sometimes it doesn't. But it actually got here today. So we have books and tapes and a little more of the sponsorship stuff and newsletters. So I'll be hanging around for as long as I need to. A bunch of you are asking questions before the service, and I didn't get a chance to answer them all. So I'll be out there for as long as you want me to be there and chat a little bit, and thank you. If you haven't picked up this week's issue of Newsweek magazine, I would encourage you to do that. On the cover is a little title called 10 Million Orphans. And I thought this was very appropriate with what you folks are doing in Romania. This is about the children that have now been orphaned in Africa because of the AIDS virus, one of the great tragedies of our lifetime. And I showed this to you tonight because I wanted you, and I wanted to encourage you to understand that you folks are a part of something that's much bigger than you. You're a part of something that's much bigger than this church. This project in Romania, what you have now done to help us begin the Metro Sunday School in Manila, this is bigger than all of us, folks. And I don't know if all of us understand that, because we equate sometimes with what we do a task, and that's nice. It's nice to be able to give, but there's just more to it than that. You're making an investment. And I don't want to labor this, but what you have done, and I can only speak for what you have done into our ministry, it's an investment. Just like that man paid $17.50 when he paid my way to that youth camp. He had no idea what he was doing. He saw the little boy that nobody wanted. That was me. And a lot of what people don't know unless they've really read the story is that even though he paid $17.50 to send me to the camp, his own son was in the hospital dying of leukemia.